A lot of 3D films in the 80s were shot on this too, because you shot the same amount of film.
Right, to get a 3D image.
Yeah, so you didn't have to shoot, your filming cost wasn't more.
I didn't know anything about this until 5 seconds ago.
Awesome.
I'm told my mind is completely blown. Hey everybody, Adam Savage, and I am at the Paramount Archives in Los Angeles, and Joey Fameli from Tested with me, and we're together on camera for a particular reason, because we're about to talk about this amazing VistaVision camera. I love this kind of old technology, and Joey actually uses old technology with film.
This is interesting because I think both of us have been sort of camera obsessed lately with this old analog film format. Me more so on like the stock and the format, and you about the machinery and the mechanical aspects of it. And I think the VistaVision's like a perfect amalgamation of both those two aspects of cameras. Yeah. This is the 35 millimeter. You have the Arri 2C, which is same format.
Films the same kind of film, but it's this big.
Exactly, and so the VistaVision is something particularly special. And we have Charlotte Barker here, the director of the film restoration here at Paramount, who is writing a book on VistaVision.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
How are you?
Great.
Thank you so much for letting us talk about this crazy, beautiful, insane piece of equipment.
Well, thank you for giving me a reason to talk about my favorite thing.
Okay, so let's do the top line. What is this?
This is a Mitchell VistaVision camera. This is one of two that we have here at the archive. This is number 33. And there were about 34 or 35 of them made in total by Mitchell.
Wow. And what years did when did they start with the VistaVision format?
So these were made in the mid-50s. So this was actually the second VistaVision camera that was used by Paramount. The first one was made by Stein camera. It was actually a Mitchell camera that was then Stein camera did the lenses for it. It was made by for William Fox. Paramount actually bought that camera, and then it was retrofitted to shoot VistaVision. It was taped together with gaffer tape. It's crazy that Paramount would even have put any money behind making a film with this, but that's what they shot White Christmas on. So while they were designing this one, they used the Stein cameras, but then Mitchell came out with these. They also converted some 3-strip Technicolor cameras to shoot VistaVision.
Right, so 3-strip at some point went away in terms of a format, and had all that, I guess, real estate inside these camera bodies. Is that correct? Is that kind of how, and then they just repurposed that for VistaVision?
Yeah, and then some of those eventually went on to do Technorama, which is VistaVision basically with an anamorphic lens. So, there's a lot of, I know, there's a lot of iterations of this.
VistaVision is specifically, its main advertised feature is that it's getting more resolution out of a 35 millimeter strip of film by turning it on its side.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're seeing it in this vertical orientation, but what's happening inside is the film is then flipping over and shooting 8 perf as opposed to 4 perf.
Correct.
And then flipping back.
And then flipping back, right?
And going back into this take-up reel.
Right, not complicated at all.
All right, Charlotte, what are we looking at here? I see 3 strips of film.
Yeah, so these are different types of films. So I wanted to just kind of give you a comparison here. So up top, we have what you normally would see. This is a regular 35 millimeter perf.
Right.
So these are 4 perfs. So this is a normal image that you would shoot just sort of a normal film on. This is what you normally would see. This is what most of the industry shoots on here. Notice we call it 4 perf because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 perfs here.
And this is what most projectors are projecting. Is this?
This has been industry standard for 100 years now. So next to that, we have what's called 2 perf. This is a Techniscope. So this was created as a cost-saving method, which you can kind of see why it's half the amount of film. And if you notice here, this is the Paramount logo. You can see there's 2 perfs per every image. So
this is like what I think of with spaghetti westerns and
exactly.
Is that what they were shot on?
Yeah,
I did not realize that.
So a lot of them were shot in this. You'll notice it's a scope, a wide image.
Right.
So a lot of those spaghetti westerns are all really wide, and this is what they were shot on. A lot of 3D films in the 80s were shot on this too, because
you could stack the lenses.
Yeah, well, and you shot the same amount of film.
Right, to get a 3D image.
Yeah, so you didn't have to shoot, your filming cost wasn't more.
I didn't know anything about this until 5 seconds ago.
Awesome.
I'm told my mind is completely blown.
Yes, awesome. So that's Techniscope. And then next to that, look, this is the big boy. This is a VistaVision image. So it's notice the first thing you'll notice is that the image is rotated
Right.
horizontally here. So, and then there's 8 perforations per image here. So notice, I mean, just the image size alone is just so much bigger
So beautiful.
than the others.
So this is when you want to save money, and this is when money is no issue.
Exactly, exactly. Which is kind of crazy in the 50s when, you know, everybody was struggling for money. And then here they are spending like crazy more film. You know, this costs way more to do this.
Just to get you to leave your television behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Is this, do we know what movie this is
This
from?
is the 10 Commandments.
This is from the Ten Commandments.
Yes. So this is one of our
Amazing.
prints for the 10 Commandments.
You know, when I bought the lion mask, I looked up what is the term for a half lion, half man? Sphinx.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it turns out we all knew the term.
Yeah.
It's a sphinx. That is, it's the difference is really, it's almost hard to wrap your head around
Yeah.
how much more data there is here, because it's not twice, it's not 2x, it's more, it's volumetric. It's-
And, you know, it might have been hard for audiences to really see the difference by the time it got to the screen in the 50s, but now with 4K televisions, we can really see the difference.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're lucky that they shot them this way because we can see the difference now.
I love the idea that this format is born out of how do we get more out of what we already have without having to literally reinvent the wheel.
Right.
That's what's really clever about it. And then the camera, which seems absurd, is way easier than trying to build a brand new film camera to try out a format.
Yeah, and that works both ways. It's both inexpensive and much
Right,
more.
right.
Two ways of utilizing that real estate on the film.
What are some of the major movies that were shot on VistaVision?
So the first one was White Christmas. The big one that everybody mentions is Vertigo.
Right.
Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock shot 5 films on VistaVision.
He really liked the format.
Loved the format.
And those were also projected in VistaVision, at least Vertigo.
some of them.
Okay.
So not
Oh, a repurposed 35mm projector?
well, yeah. So they built a couple projectors to actually show it in the horizontal format. That was not the original intention. So that was not what they were trying to do. The whole idea was let's have a better looking image, and then we will print it down to 35mm and retain, you know, when it's projected, it'll still look big. But of course, when they show it to executives, they say, well, we want to see it in VistaVision. We want to see it in 8-perf.
We can get
So-
more people in the seats.
Yeah.
So between when they demonstrated White Christmas to the executives, there was a month before it was actually going to premiere, and they said, we want to see it in VistaVision. So they actually had a month to build a horizontal projector. They were running the sound separately, so they had to get that to
They had
work.
to get that to sync.
Yes.
And because it's on its side, it's running the film way faster than normal film. So that projector is doing literally
Yeah.
double time.
Yes. Yes.
That makes me tired
In a
just
month.
thinking about
In
it.
a month for the premiere.
In like modern terms, it's like shooting 8K for 4K distribution, right? I mean,
Yeah.
shooting like a larger resolution so you can do more effects work,
Yep.
more detail work, and then bring that down.
Yeah, that was their idea.
And so the projection of this format didn't last very long. Is that right? Or,
No,
Okay.
no. There were only a handful that were made, and they were only showed in bigger cities. I mean, the idea was you needed a really, really big screen to be able to take advantage of
Right.
having a horizontal projector in the first place. So not everybody was going to install one. I mean, the cost was going to be expensive because, again, you needed 2 of them. This wasn't just a one system. There were no platters back then. It was
Oh, you had
changeover
to do
system.
changeovers every hour
Yeah.
at least, and probably faster than every
Faster,
hour because
exactly.
it's more film.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So
so people weren't going to the theaters at some point in film history, and so they were making these formats bigger and crazier. Is this part of that? Is VistaVision part of the push or the draw to bring more people into the movie theater?
Yep.
Okay.
It's part of the whole widescreen.
It's a gamble that didn't
Right,
Yeah, the
because
widescreen
television
wars.
is giving everyone a square and they're staying
Yep.
home, and we got to bring them back to these
Yep.
bigger.
Yep. Go big or go home.
Was it a parallax camera? I see the viewing, the eyepiece up here.
Yeah. So, and the interesting thing about this, I don't know if you noticed the number up here, but this says VV1. So this is actually from the very first Mitchell camera that they built. So
What?
Yeah. So this piece here did not originally belong to this one, which is number 33.
Right.
So you see, so this one went to Egypt to shoot the 10 Commandments and shot a whole bunch of other things.
The Ten Commandments?
Yeah,
Oh my
right
God.
here,
I'm just
yeah.
thinking about
DeMille.
Cecil B. DeMille looking through
Looking
this.
through
looking
it.
through this.
Yes.
Wow.
All kinds of things. So, you know, this dust here, who knows? Is that dust from Egypt? Maybe.
We can clone
Don't
them.
clean it. But this body here, the number 33, it's very clean inside. I'm not sure that it ever saw
You're not
action.
sure that, okay, because I was noticing how beautiful the crackle finish is almost as new.
Yeah. I have one in my office. It's number 17. And that one we know for sure was used on different productions.
And it looks a lot more beat up inside?
Oh, way more beat up. So, but this one we've never found it in any reports.
Smells
good too.
Really did that smell. That must have happened in Hollywood a lot, is as different cameras and formats are being developed, you ended up with small cadres of people with a hyper specialty kept in that little sort of bubble for a while.
So Charlotte, when did the VistaVision cameras stop being used as predominantly back in the day?
Well, the last film that came out was in 1961, and that was One-Eyed Jacks. And it was really Panavision, who I like to blame, for killing VistaVision. And I mean, it was because a lot of reasons, right? Film stocks improved, lenses improved, and you really just didn't need to do this anymore.
This is always a workaround to a certain extent.
Yeah, so you really it wasn't necessary anymore. And I found a lot of memos internally where they, were saying, had we not shot this on VistaVision, we would have saved this amount of money. So, it always comes down to cost. Right. So that's really what happened. But VistaVision didn't die. It hung around, and, as a lot of people know, it was revived for a visual effects format. So, and it's been kicking around in the background ever since. So it never really went away.
And we are seeing a little bit, like I've seen filmmakers, Brutalist, for example, is the most modern version, where the VistaVision logo is on there. So filmmakers are starting to gravitate back towards this as a fun format to shoot in? Or?
The movie Poor Things, the whole reanimation sequence was shot with a VistaVision camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really making a comeback. So, because it looks great when you blow it up to 70 millimeter.
Right.
So, and it's a little bit cheaper, and maybe it's, people are finding cameras and it's easier to rent them, so.
That is so cool. I love the improvisatory nature of the switching to this as a cheap way to try a brand new format, leading to the effects guys who, that's an entire industry based on improvisation, right? Famously Kubrick using an old Mitchell for Barry Lyndon and modifying it. Hollywood has so many of these kinds of stories.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the whole story with VistaVision it was a camera modified from a camera from the late 20s. They modified it for the 50s, and then it was modified in the 70s, and now it's being modified again. So it's just a whole industry of reuse and repurpose, so.
I also just appreciate that we're getting to be near such a pristine example of the camera itself.
Yeah.
It looks
you can
as
hug it.
delivered.
I have hugged it many times, so feel free.
Charlotte, thank you so much for this. This is a real education.
No problem.
If you like this video and want to learn more about motion picture film cameras, then you are in luck. Over on our Tested Teams YouTube channel, you'll find videos from the ASC Clubhouse where we got an extensive tour of their camera museum collection. VistaVision, Cinerama, Technicolor, you name it, links are down below.